New York Rangers traded for Jacob Trouba from the Winnipeg Jets a few years ago, and he hasn't quite lived up to the expectations, especially of his contract, which was a massive $8 million per year. And that kind of money is for a number one or number two kind of guy, a top pairing D-man, and we just haven't seen that. I think at best we've probably seen a extremely low tier number three kind of D-man or a solid number four kind of guy at best. I mean, it really hasn't been that great. Now at times he has looked quite good, but at times he has been a liability kind of, and especially not great for an $8 million D-man. He has made a lot of mistakes, made some good plays as well, but the offense definitely has not translated from the Winnipeg Jets to the New York Rangers. And there are other reasons for that as well. I mean, he was kind of quarterback in that power play over there in that last year back in 2018-19 when he had 50 points in 82 games played with the Winnipeg Jets. Had 18 power play points, but still with the Rangers, we haven't really seen anything that great. We saw him have a 39-point season back in 2021, 2022, but we haven't quite seen that big step forward, that 50 kind of point kind of guy who can be a top pairing kind of guy who we paid $8 million to, which is what we expected of him. We expect out of a guy who we pay $8 million to be a top line player, and he just hasn't been that. Now he is still only 29 years old, so he's not old by any means, but he's right in the middle of his prime now. So could we see a breakout year this year? Not necessarily a breakout year, but another big year where he gets 40 plus points and actually plays a really solid two-way game. I think it's possible. I mean, he had a pretty good year, at least the regular season in 2021, 2022. Now he wasn't that great in the playoffs, but he did have, like I said, 39 points that year in 81 games played, had 11 goals, 28 assists. So that was something to take note of, as well as that he did have a pretty good year. It was a plus 25 as well, playing 22 minutes and 26 seconds a night. So he had a really good 2021 and 2022, but this past year, he regressed a bit. I mean, the plus minus went down from plus 25 to plus 7, and plus minus is not the end all be all, but dropping by like a minus 18 compared to that was quite a bit of a drop off. But I do hope this year that we can see that 40 plus kind of Trouba guy who's putting up 40 plus points, 10 plus goals, playing a good two-way game, still obviously being that physical player, blocking shots, just mucking guys with those hits, not taking as many penalties. Hopefully that could come down a bit. But, overall, my main issue with Trouba is the defensive zone giveaways. The defensive giveaways is an absolute liability and a awful, awful thing. This past year had 37 defensive zone giveaways out of his total 49. That is brutal. That is terrible and not at all what you want to see out of your defenseman who's supposed to be a defensively reliable guy. 37 is a lot. And you saw the previous year as well, back in 2021, he had 63 total giveaways, 46 defensive zone giveaways. That is absolutely awful. Back in 2020, had a total of 24 giveaways, and 22 of them were in the defensive zone. The previous year, back in 2019, had 69 total giveaways, 54 in the defensive zone. The previous year after that, 2018, had 86 giveaways, then had 80 defensive zone giveaways. That's almost one defensive zone giveaway per game. That is absolutely terrible. And that is the main issue with him, is he does that a lot. Every single year, pretty much, he is most of the time pretty close to the amount of giveaways he has. They're pretty much all in the defensive zone. Now, if you're giving the puck away in the offensive zone, that sucks because you're killing the momentum and you're not obviously going to be able to score, as if you're giving the puck away all the time in the offensive zone. But at least you're not doing it in the corners, and then the guy gets the puck, passes it in the slot, goal, right? So that is the big issue with Trouba, is his defensive zone giveaways are a completely just real thing, and they are a big, big issue because he's literally had multiple years of like 50 plus defensive zone giveaways, and that is absolutely brutal. Now, he hasn't been quite that bad with the Rangers so far, but you still take a look at it, like 37 defensive giveaways, 46, 22 in the COVID year, obviously 54 again in the COVID year. Like, it's been bad, and that is a big, big issue. And the takeaways aren't that great. I mean, 32 this year, the previous year, 24, 17, 43, 48. Not the best thing in the world either. So that is a big issue. The block shots, though, are absolutely amazing. At 196 this year, almost had 200 block shots. That is unreal, absolutely fantastic. Had 177 the year before. COVID year had 84. The year before that, 128, 170, 100, 118, 177. He blocks a lot of shots, and that is a good thing for sure. His hits, though, are also absolutely fantastic. The past 2 years has had 200 plus hits in each of those seasons. 218 this year, and back in 2021 had 207. So those are good, but obviously the penalties are also a big issue as well. The last couple of years, this past year had 63 penalty minutes. The year before that had 88. Now, a lot of those are from these big 5 minutes he gets sometimes, or the fights he gets in. So it is kind of inflating it a bit, but still, he does take some stupid penalties a decent amount, and that is an issue as well. But overall, he's a solid player, not nearly worth $8 million. Still a solid second-line D-man who can play a good, solid two-way game, penalty kill, lay his body, block shots. Yes, some stupid penalties sometimes, has a good shot, can score goals. Just an overall solid player, not worth $8 million, but still a solid player. And the one really good thing, though, is that his contract becomes a 15-team no trade list next offseason, and then the one after that, a 12-team. So there's a chance we could move on from him, not this year right now, but next offseason or the one after that, it is a possibility. We'll have to wait and see, though, how much we'd have to give up with him, because obviously most teams probably aren't going to give something up to get him, I don't think. So I would imagine we probably have to give up something with maybe a prospect, a pick. I'm not quite sure, but it is possible we could move on from him in the next couple of years. That is a realistic possibility. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please smash the like button and definitely comment down below your guys' thoughts on Jacob Trouba, the New York Rangers captain.